Do you get this thing, this communication process thingy majiggy? It's all like alien language to me. Can you explain?
Yeah, sure, I can do it. You know, as people, we are able to communicate.
Oh, awesome. Communication thing.
In communication, we are both the speaker and the listener who are able to speak and listen.
So you're the speaker
and you're the listener.
Oh, what is this?
But then sometimes you can be the speaker and I can be the listener.
Like now?
Yeah. There are 8 stages in the cycle of communication.
Do expound.
The first one is thinking. Before we give out our message, we have to think of what we're going to say. You understand?
Yes, I think I understand.
The second one is symbolizing. This is when we put our messages through words or body language.
I like it.
The third one is expressing. This is when we begin to communicate. Can you hear me now?
No, not yet.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. That's expressing. Express your thoughts.
The fourth one is transmitting. Transmitting is through sound and light waves, meaning sound, our voices, and light through what we see.
I see.
Oh, very good. Now, for the listener, the 5th stage is for the listener. They have to receive the message we are conveying through their hearing and what they can see.
I get it. I'm receiving what you're saying.
That's good. And the 6th one is decoding. Even if you hear, remember, there's a difference between hearing and listening.
I see. What's the difference?
When you hear, it's just enters and exits. When you listen, that's when you do the 6th stage. You decode. You understand to get the message.
Decoding, it's like highly technical stuff. What is this decoding?
This is when you understand the message of the speaker. Now, for the 7th stage, this is when you begin to react. This is when I become the speaker and you become, I become the listener and you become the speaker.
Ooh. And the way I'm really reacting right now.
Yeah.
It's like, how does it make you feel? Anyway, moving on.
The last stage of the communication cycle is monitoring. Even if we are able to break dialogue and talk and communicate, we must always remember that when we react, we must always feel for the other person. Meaning, we just can't say. We have to think of how the other person is feeling. Understand?
Okay, I get it. What comes next?
The next part is the Roman Jacobson. There are also factors in communication process. One factor is the addressee, meaning the listener. The second one is addressor, me, the speaker. The third one is the context, which is where we communicate from listener to speaker and speaker to listener.
I heard about this context. Meaning can change through context, right?
Yes, very good. You've been reading.
Yes, but I don't understand. Actually, I do. Okay, going on.
For another factor is the message. Don't forget that the message is important in communication. And the last factor there is purpose. When you're going to talk to a person, you have to have purpose. It's not like you're going to talk like blah, 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 blah.
Like the purpose is for me to understand what you're telling me about communication.
Yes, the communication.
And your purpose is to let me know.
Yes.
I get it now.
Wait, let's have an overview.
Okay.
Communication processes. In communication processes, there are 8 stages, remember?
Yes.
There is, the first one is thinking, and then understand how the communication process.
Yes, I think I do.
It's another part of it, the communication, the components of communication.
What we discussed earlier, right?
Yeah. But remember, what I taught you is just a general overview. But I think somebody here can teach us about the components of communication. But before that, let's take a lunch break.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm full, man.
Same here.
But there's still something bugging me. I think I'm still hungry.
Hungry for knowledge.
You still remember the process?
Yes, yes, I do.
And then there's also another part, the components. Remember what I taught you is a general overview. Remember?
Yep.
But I wonder if somebody here could teach us the components of communication.
Will you teach us?
Can you teach us?
Yeah, of course. So, for communication, before it starts, you must have a source. And this source is the speaker. So, if you want to gain the attention of your listeners, you must have confidence and authority.
Can you have those?
Yeah, I do. And confidence and authority will only result from knowledge of your subject. Wait, sorry.
After
Confidence and authority will come from mastery of your subject, but this is not enough. You must also have clarity of your purpose. Of course, you must have a purpose, because if you don't have a purpose, then what would be your reason for speaking?
What's
right?
your purpose now?
You asked me, right?
so you're telling us that's your purpose.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Go na. So the next component is message. Message is what you communicate to the listener. It can be either verbal or non-verbal. If you use your voice and words, then it is verbal. There are three variables for verbal communication, which is content, structure, and style. Content is the very core of your message. It says everything about what you're saying. Next is structure. Structure is how your information is organized. So it also serves as a guideline for the listener, so that they could catch up with the transition of your ideas, what you say. And the last is style. Just what I said a while ago, is the attitude of or the manner of expressing your ideas. So, you get it?
Yes, I get it. Thumbs up.
So after this, what comes next? Are there more?
Yeah, I think there are more, but I don't know what comes next.
Let's ask someone else. Do you know? Do you know?
Yes, I think I know. The next component of communication is God. Right?
Nana.
I think I know the fourth component of communication is channel. Channel is
Like the one in TV.
No.
Really?
TV can be a means of communication. It is presented as channel, but it's a means of communication. But channel is the type of language that we use. It's, for example, the Americans use the English language, and the Filipinos use the Filipino language. It is language. And we also have the fifth component of communication, which is the listener or address. Just like the speaker, the listeners should have a purpose of why listening. Because if we don't really want to listen, let's say, when we're having a group study like what we're doing right now, if we don't have a purpose for that, no one's going to listen. No one's going to stay here and study with us. But I think there's two more components of communication. God.